All right. Going live. Good morning, everybody. Or, as we say on the internet, good now. Whatever location that you're in on the planet. I'm cracking open a Red Bull. I've got my second camera set up. Hey! And we're finally ready to go with some adventure planning. So the intent of this live stream is to plan an adventure that I will later make a full video about to release for free that anybody can use, system agnostic. Hey, Stanchgate, how's it going? Hey, Moonthirst. Hey, hey, hey. I know, it's been a while. It's been a while. Hey, Voices from the Dark. It's going to be tricky because I can't sort of switch between. I'm going to be looking over here, way over there, into the light to see the comments. I'm just going to sort of preamble and delay and soak up some. Hey, Josiah, how's it going, man? I know. Welcome back, my dude, from your adventures. Hey, Britton. Hey, Morgan. A Dyson sphere full of demons. Wow, we've started already. What happened to the beard? Well, I've never had a beard. I've had a moustache. What happened was my great aunt's 101st birthday was just the other day. And she's always hated my moustache. So I shaved it off in honor of her. And then when I went to the dinner and she looked at my face, she didn't actually realize I'd shaved it off. So it was all for nothing. But I actually am enjoying the baldness. So it's going to stay this way. Konnichiwa, Don. Yeah, I've been good, man. 101, yeah, I know. I should have attributed it to her in a little gift. You know, here is my facial hair. She would have been absolutely disgusted. But my great aunt, we went to a smorgasbord restaurant, and whenever she gets there, she's like, prawns, give me prawns, as many prawns as possible. And she just hosts and eats as many as possible. She is as sharp as a tack, like 101 years old. And if I played D&D with her, she would figure out a way to beat me at it somehow. She's absolutely merciless. I should have resin cast the moustache. That's a good idea. All right, so let's get started, shall we? So this auspicious day, we're going to be doing some adventure design. Look at that! It's actually displaying correctly. I'm going to call it 101 in honor of my great aunt. No, I'm not in Canada yet. That's going to be a while yet. I plan on heading off to Montreal, and most people from Canada, when I say that, go, why? Because it's a happening scene, man. Super glue it back on. Nah. It, some days it was kind of tatty some days, and it's fine. I quite like my face as it is. So I'm going to be asking you for input. I've already had a starter for this, and this is that a bunch of kobolds, but it may not necessarily be kobolds because this is a system agnostic adventure, so we may go with something completely different, are transporting their dragon bosses hoard of treasure to a new lair, and they get ambushed. So that's the scene, right? And I want this to be in a forested valley. And they're heading towards the coast from a mountain. So I always start off with like a scene that I want to kind of narrate to the players. So this is the scene where the main sort of fight is going to happen. Hey, thanks, Comic Nut. Montreal's a great place. Yeah, it looks good. It's got an insect museum. Like, why would I not want to go to a place with an insect museum? Perfect timing, AJ. I'm shithoused. I'll give you plenty of cash. Ha ha ha. Also, monitor on. Also, Mozatov on your aunt. Thanks, man. So the random encounter is gnomes. Could be gnomes. Ambushed by gnomes. Abused. Abused by gnomes. Let's go with that. Typo turns into genius. The best adventure designs, in my opinion, that don't come from AI are the ones from good old school sci-fi movies, comic book covers, and Jerry Anderson, Fireball XL5. Look it up, I will. Dungeon Dad, I wouldn't live there anymore, but yeah, a great place to hang out and stuff. Red Caps, the only gnomes that matter. Ooh, Red Caps. Ooh, okay. Red Caps. So we're talking a Fey incursion of some kind. So Red Caps will just murder them for just murder spree. Sorry about my clicking table. I need to reinforce it. It's got a joint right underneath where my hand is. Stanskate, I like it. Okay, so it's on the coast, and there's a wizard there somewhere. What involvement has the wizard got with the dragon? I kind of thought that the mountain perhaps had a cave-in that was caused by some giants, and I wanted to get some giants involved, but I'm a bit iffy on the giants. I like the Red Caps more. Now, how do the players get involved in this? Do they find out that there's some gold, or what? I'm wide open to suggestions here, people. Oh, I like that, Morgan. If they don't beat the ambush, a storm giant shows up, because the storm giant was responsible for the collapse of the mountain, causing the... Yeah, okay. Storm giant. TPK possible. I like it. Red Caps, the only gnomes that matter. So, yeah, Montreal's a very cosmopolitan place. Like 1 in 4 people is not from there. Hey, Fred. Well, it seems to be a good time to do a live stream. I just do it. It's a miserable rainy day outside today. Wizards trying to build a church on sacred land, that one faction that's primarily focused on nature and love. I forgot the name. Hopefully you'll know. There's lots of them. This is a system agnostic adventure, by the way, so no background information and no town names or no gods or not even any specifically named monsters or wizards or anything. What if there's something alive in the dragon horde? Something dangerous. So perhaps this dragon keeps pet. Perhaps the red caps are actually in the horde. Caged red caps, maybe? Will escape. They will escape during the fight. Or maybe that's one of the sensitive things that maybe the red caps will escape during fight, during a scene. So, okay, so is this the middle or the end of the adventure? So what we need 3 stages for this one shot. We've got the intro, which is largely just setting the scene and nothing else going on. This is the player characters, the players' time, where they get to introduce their characters and basically interact with each other. And then we've got the mid, And this is where they interact and they basically test out, test rules, skills, and maybe fight. But you don't want to bog them down with combat that's serious in the middle of the thing. And then the final scene is boss fight. And in the boss fight, you want to concentrate on the player's setup, payoff, the environment, and the boss monster, and NPCs and minions. So we want to set up NPCs and minions, possibly even back here. The boss monster will be foreshadowed, with the payoff being either a clue to turning the environment against the boss, or learning weaknesses about the boss, or turning the NPCs into your tools or to your favor. So the payoff, or also if they don't do what they're supposed to do here, if they mess around or screw up, the payoff will either be missed or it could be turned against them by the boss monster. That's the general gist. So it may be that the storm giant showing up is one of those factors for the payoff. So information on storm giant. Maybe the red cats are servants of the giant rather than the loot. So maybe it's not kobolds. Maybe it is maybe it is the red caps. Red caps are transporting a bunch of gold. What sort of a dragon would have red caps as their minions? I mean, it's got to be a black or a green dragon, surely. Maybe it's some sort of maybe it's a twisted gold dragon. Red dragon, got to be a red dragon. Green, could be a black dragon. Maybe we don't have to worry about what sort of dragon it is, because it's a system agnostic adventure. It could be any kind of dragon. Maybe it's a cobra dragon. Maybe it's a blood dragon. Evil chromatic gold, I do like that idea. An evil fairy dragon. Ian, you're a genius. It's an evil fairy dragon. It's so evil, we're adding an E on the end. Evil fairy dragon. Like the Jabberwocky is an evil fairy dragon. Or maybe its name is just Jabberwock. Let's make a new dragon? Yeah, why not? I mean, basically, this is a good excuse for me to make a video adventure about a new monster. The Fey Blood Dragon. Fey Blood Dragon. And red cap children. So let's see, what sort of environmental weakness would the evil fairy dragon have and the red caps have that could be taken advantage of, that we encounter in the middle scene? So the middle scene could be them traveling from town. So here we've got the town over here. It's the town of Townburg. And they are traveling through what to get there? To the forested valley. Iron. Yes, iron. Iron would be a very good weakness. So what sort of scene would there be where they pick up lots of iron that they're traveling through? An old iron mine shortcut? Cold iron golems. Ooh. Administration building or a library. A dwarven mine that's got old disused iron golems that they could possibly activate. So they could either fight the iron golem and beat it, but not have the payoff, or they could figure out how to turn it to their defense and actually use it in the boss fight against the bad guys. The Ironwood Forest, or it could be the Ironwood Forest because it's so close to an iron-rich iron mine. Iron mine. I like that. Iron mine of the dwarves. Does it have to be dwarves, though? Could it be something else? What sort of creature would love... Oh, you know what sort of creature would really love an iron mine? A manticore. Because they eat iron. And people. But a manticore is a pretty far... Like, that's a pretty full-on fight. It could work, though. Maybe it's a cub. Young. A young manticore. Rust monsters? Rust monsters could be part of the boss scene, maybe. Some sort of arboreal rust monster that lives in the trees. Because it's the ironwood, right? Perhaps the rust monsters eat the iron trees. You're thinking about Australian ironwood? Yeah. Like, it's famous for its hardwood. So it's literally ironwood. So we've got rust monsters forming a complication in the final scene. So if they don't have the iron golem to feed on, they're going to attack the creatures which have got the most iron on them, which is probably the player characters. So now we have our payoff and our environmental complication. Oh no, this isn't going to be a fairy dragon. This is going to be an entirely different beastie. Yeah, it's going to be big and mean because it's system agnostic, right? So we're under no restriction to stick to any sort of existing lore. This could be in space. This could be a Spelljammer adventure on an alien world. Is a rust monster a Wizard of the Coast copyright monster? Yes, it probably is. So we will call it a ferrous monkey or ferrous bug. So we're going to design a new type of rust monster, a new type of dragon. Red cap's largely unchanged, perhaps like a cross between a red cap and a kobold. An iron flea. Oh, yes, iron fleas. Beautiful. So they've got definitely got a leap attack. Fluffy little antenna on the iron fleas. Beady eyes. That's fantastic. Squeakers. Maybe the wizards, Thayan wizards constructed a special automata to eat iron, and when a sacrifice amount is collected, they can magically temporarily destruct to extract the iron. Yeah. Rust beetle or insect. Yep. I really like iron fleas. That's fantastic because obviously they will latch onto the iron golem like fleas, right? It'll be infested. But otherwise, they're going to leap onto the player characters out of nowhere, out of the trees. Yeah, kobolds were originally like goblinoid type thing, I think. So kobolds come from mining, from cobalt. And they were basically seen as nasty, horrible things that would infest mines and steal all your gold. Hey, Scorch. I'm loving this so far. This is great. Yeah, a mosquito or a bee. Yep, or a wasp. So they could be like little fairies themselves and have wings. And when they suck up enough iron, they can't fly anymore because their wings are too feeble to carry them. So they basically drop to the ground like a tick. Iron ticks. So the storm giant is lairing in the middle of the valley. Yeah. The storm giant we don't really need to worry too much about. Basically any sort of giant that shows up at the end of it. It could even be a bunch of trolls. Trolls that, that throw rocks, or maybe they eat iron ticks. Yeah, I've got two new monsters at least. We've got an evil blood dragon. And we've got the iron fleas. We've got the iron golem's pretty straightforward. Iron mine of the wizards. Troll wizards. Why not? That fits, doesn't it? Troll wizards. I throw spell. No. Greedy, nasty troll wizards. Yeah, it does sound terrifying. Sounds terrifying. Walking along the forest road and suddenly you're getting jumped by fleas the size of a dog trying to eat your armor. Yep. Mr. Mechanic. How to exit it? They don't fit in. Creatures of the Underdark. I imagine lots of iron there. Yep, unless it's not the underground we think of for mining. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a shortcut, right, to get to the valley. So they travel through the dangerous iron mines to get to the valley because somehow they've found out about this transport. How did they find out about the transport? What's the intro? What's the NPC that knows about this that's going down? Is it a troll wizard? Is it an apprentice to a troll wizard? Is it somebody who's aware of the iron golem? Is it some dwarves who want to capture the iron mine for themselves and they need to get rid of the iron golem? Doesn't need to be super like complicated here. So we're talking like an hour, 1 hour here, 1 to 2 hours in the middle, and then 1 to 2 hours for the end boss fight, with a possible extension into a part two. That's basically the adventure format that we're looking at. Thanks, Comic Nut. Like I said, 3 sheets to the wind, but maybe the storm giant has electromagnetic. Whoa, yes, of course. The storm giant would want to lair in the iron mine because they have electromagnetic powers. And they want to clear out the iron golem made by troll wizards. I'm getting too many arrows here. we need to go to another dimension. The green dimension. Okay, so the storm giants want to get the iron mine. The troll wizards perhaps want to take out the incursion of the Fey Blood Dragon, because the Fey Blood Dragon is moving into their territory. So they want to get rid of the boss. But they can't just waltz into Townburg and tell the player characters about it. So who's the NPC? Who's the quest giver? Someone always has to mention Ixatzar Chittles. It's true. A talking mushroom? A Myconid sovereign sends a psychic message. Could be. I do always love meeting up with Myconids. Appeal to the Neverwinter Online devs for an electromagnetic golem boss. Yeah. What magic schools would 4chan use? Enchantment, obviously, because they're so charming. A kobold mining union that wants the mine back. Yep. The kobolds could be like little mini trolls, like apprentice wizards. So maybe trolls aren't that bad here. It could just be a notice board, like a quest notice board. Time is of the essence. Or maybe some sort of like a courier or a rider comes into town and breathlessly tells them what's going on. Yeah, you can choose to either help the trolls or destroy both them and the Blood Dragon. Well, the trolls don't necessarily have to be bad, but we are talking troll wizards of the coast. Corrupted Myconids? Hey, Lycan. You wonder if this is how RPG quests are designed, pretty much. Maybe the iron fleas have superheated proboscis in liquid. Ooh. Yeah. They inject liquid iron. Oh, so nasty. Iron fleas inject molten iron. And have acid, obviously have acid for blood. Because we need a little bit of xenomorph in here. Right, this is going well. Time for a pause for a Red Bull. I'm running out of paper space here. A paladin with too much to do, a la D&D movie. Lost Oracle spirit communicating through the children singing a nursery rhyme. That's very creepy and good. Creepy children always work. Perhaps they're charmed by a chewinga. Charmed by a mind spirit. The The iron fleas have a bioelectric hive mind. Ooh. Hive mind. So once one of them starts attacking, they all sort of zero in. Trolls are bad. They got some freaky use in mind for the Fey blood to supercharge their region. Oh, yeah. Like unicorn blood. Troll wizards want blood dragon. Maybe it's the only thing that keeps them smart. Like the black potion of the Auntie. Yeah, Robert, I got rid of my moustache. Thanks, Comment Nut. The town is called Clearwater, i.e. every town name quest giver is a fat gnome. Okay. Clearwater. Maybe something's going on in the so we want to test the rules. We want a sample fight that's not necessarily fatal, and we want to test out the player character's skills. So that could be spelunking, traveling through an underground area. It could be investigating. It could be finding out what's going on with young manticores and the iron golem, and that the iron golem was constructed by. Was it constructed by the Troll Wizards? Or maybe it was made by Townberg. Maybe the Iron Golem is doing something else. It was constructed long ago by the folk of Clearwater. To do what in the iron mine? Perhaps purify their water, protect them from something in the iron mine? So there's some imminent danger to the mine? There's a better plot than Honor Among Thieves. Maybe. Yeah, the dragon kind of is the victim here, but it's also like the boss fight because it doesn't want anybody discovering that it's transporting its entire hoard of gold and stuff. Or it's been exposed, it's outside of its normal environment. I mean, hey, maybe the... No, it wouldn't go anywhere near. It wouldn't want to really be in the Ironwood either. So Ironwood, Iron Mine, Clearwater, creepy children. The golem could work as a pillar. Removing it creates a landslide. Yeah, or like it's a dam of some kind. See you later, Fred. Give the live stream title and adventure name later. Yeah, I will. Maybe it was made to be an intended scapegoat. Yeah, I imagine that the iron golem does eat and poop out iron ingots. Oh, the dragon's wings are crippled, so it's injured. I do like that. Injured blood. Yeah, because with the red cap children, it's going to be a nasty fight. Yeah, I'm going to get food after this as well, Fred. That's great. Perhaps the psychic spirit is the disembodied sentience of the golem's long-dead creator. Yeah. Perhaps the motive of the mind spirit is to reanimate or repair its host mechanical body. So it's like a Warforged Titan. You're on the dragon's side now. Yeah, it does sound a bit like an anime character. We discovered that a few harpers have been contracted to slay the golem, but only one is actually alive. The other one, the Dragonborn, is alive, but was reaped of his soul to power the golem. Ooh, that's a little bit in depth. I like it though. So the iron golem is absorbing the iron and defecates the slag. Yep, that would definitely enrage rust monsters and manticores, for sure. The manticore could actually just be a random encounter if things aren't moving along. It could be like, okay, it's time to get out of the mine now because there's manticores. You've stirred up a manticore lair. It's like it's time to leave. But you could have adventurers who basically don't leave when a boss monster, when a monster shows up, they might actually like turn around and fight the manticore. In which case, that could be a TPK. I've got no problem with TPKs, by the way, but I don't encourage them. I just don't avoid them. This is like, well, yeah, that was clearly going to be a very nasty fight, The spirit seeks to bind itself to the golem. Yeah. How would it do that? How would it travel to the children in the first place? It's disembodied. So is it an apparition? Is it a ghost? It was a wraith, perhaps? Perhaps it's a machine core. Like, it's not actually a non-physical thing. It's like a detached... Oh, like that episode of... spoilers, if anybody hasn't watched The Mandalorian. That thing. In Mandalore. That thing in Mandalore? So the golem is in the form of a big crab creature. Crab tank. And it's got a host, a pilot. Actually, there's a really good Kobold Press monster that fits that template perfectly, if you know the one I'm talking about. Basically, they're like, the Krang inside a big robot body. Will there be hallucinogenic gases? Perhaps. Perhaps that's something that they could liberate from the Iron Golem to use in the boss fight. The Iron Golem has a drill arm and is a more animated mining machine. Yeah. Maybe a shell-shocked NPC survivor huddled in a corner, rocking back and forth, repeating, "There's no such thing as golems. There's no such thing as golems." I like it. Yeah, a Dwarven Explorer is always a really good quest giver. So if they're not engaging with the creepy charmed children, then the Dwarven Explorer will show up and say, "I was on my way from seeing signs that this fey creatures were coming through because the troll wizards were getting stirred up." Because obviously a dwarf would really not like them, traveled through the iron mine and discovered that this thing was running amok. Before it was doing something logical and staying out of the way, but now it's broken into the iron mine and is destroying all the dwarven... Maybe it's a dwarven town inside the iron mine that nobody really knew about because, dwarves be dwarves. Say a Behir swallows a dwarven battle rager wearing spiked armor. How much damage would said Behir take after swallowing said dwarven battle rager? A fair amount. I would say, at least 1d6 per round. But Behir have got a lot of teeth. And they're genetically engineered to fight dragons. This whole adventure sounds like hallucination. Yeah, it's the Red Bull. This Red Bull's gone bad. A giant dwarf's normal size? Well, you'd have to ask the Durgar, who can grow to giant size. They get large, essentially. Well, Chris, I think we're pretty much done almost. I've got all the bones of the adventure here, thanks to everybody's input. And so I can get started writing this. It will probably take me a few days. I've got to get a Palladium video done in the meantime. And I've got a doozy AJ's Guide to Extraterrestrials video coming up, which is going to offend so many people. But it's my channel. I do what I want. It could be a stone golem that spits the iron-eating fleas and uses them to break down the metal. Yeah. A wounded harper who's trying to... Yeah, we're avoiding the harpers. Could be just like a druid or a ranger. Gets the citizens of Clearwater to safety but can't, so side quest is helping them. If they have a healer, we can help him. Yeah. Why not both columns? Exactly. Oh, sorry, Sean. I was saying probably about 1d6 per round. What about the manticore? Are they still part of the cave, or are they domesticated breed used by the dwarves? Yeah, you could have manta dogs. Manta corgis. Manta corgis. Manta corgis. And thus the manta corgi was born. The manta corgi is a specially bred riding dog. Check the Discord. Have I got Discord? I don't think I have Discord running at the moment. That's right, Robert. You have made the manta corgi. Oh, a T1000 liquid metal golem. Oh, that's terrifying. I quite enjoy the AJ's Guide to Extraterrestrials as well, Lycan. What a coincidence. I really, really enjoy them because it's just pure creative writing on my part. So I get to just sit down and just make whatever I want. I'm really, really enjoying the stretching my creative muscles and just making up stuff. No, Marcus. No, this is system agnostic. I am no longer a Forgotten Realms Wizards of the Coast supporter. I'm boycotting them, basically. Which is why my views on my channel are kind of tanking at the moment, because all the 5th edition people are like, meh! But I don't care. I do not care. I think system agnostic is much more fun, because I get to like play around with Dungeon Crawl Classics and Lamentations of Flame Princess and... you know, all the other fantasy RPGs, Palladium Fantasy and Warhammer and all sorts of stuff. All the OSR people. Everyone can enjoy this adventure. AJ's free. AJ is a free house elf. Somebody gave me a sock. Somebody gave me a sock and the brain meats and made me see reason. A possessed Chaos Knight. Could be a Chaos Knight who is possessing the Iron Golem. I really like the crab tank idea, though. You'll see what I mean with the creature that I suggest. It's the newest one in the chat. Free Wi-Fi. Okay, I'm going to go there, even though it's going to pop all sorts of circuits on my computer. Is that what is that, an angle grinder with a hammer and a blade strapped to it? That is the most outlandish thing I've ever seen. That would be so incredibly dangerous for the person using it. Yeah, the only rule is to have fun. That's true. Disengaging Discord. By the way, if any of you are not in my Discord server, you really should be. We have the most lively chats in the early hours of the morning. Well, I mean, a Warhammer adventure is a D&D style adventure because Warhammer is from Dungeons & Dragons. Yeah, Forgotten Realms is more than just Wizards of the Coast, for sure. Ed Greenwood is the Forgotten Realms. And Ed Greenwood's Forgotten Realms is a much more adult-themed, hairy place than Wizards of the Coast would have you believe. And he really doesn't care about pronunciation of place names and creature names and stuff like that either. Like, he hates those debates, I think. I saw a tweet that was about that. He's just saying, look, there's lots of people with lots of dialects that live all over the Forgotten Realms. Common is not like, what people think it is. It's a trade language. And essentially, people pronounce Mithranor different ways depending on where they come from. And if you're a merchant or a trader, you're not gonna critique people on how they say things because you want to sell them stuff, which is a very logical point. Okay, so we've got our adventure. We've got our intro in the town of Clearwater. We've got weird children. We've got some sort of mind spirit, perhaps even the pilot of the tank is trying to mind control the children. We've got Manticorgi riding Iron Mind Dwarves who are just basically trying to save their home, who may show up in Townburg as well, and they're aware of the fact that there is a Fey blood dragon that's moving through the Ironwood Valley, which is infested with molten infused iron fleas, and of course angry redcaps. I think we're good. We're good to go, folks. How deep does this need to go? Not very deep, really. It's a one-shot. What would a cross between a cockatrice and a basilisk look like? Well, actually, the basilisk and the cockatrice are the same thing. They're from the same creature from history. So there is no difference between a basilisk and a cockatrice. And those are real cryptids, by the way. So if you go back and look at history, the cockatrice and the basilisk, I think the last sighting of one was like in medieval France or something like that. And it's basically like a feathered lizard type thing. Oh, there's this bird called a hoisin bird in South America, which you really must go and Google immediately. It is essentially, because we were having a discussion of this, it was a hot topic in our Discord discussion the other morning, where it is essentially an Archaeopteryx. So it's a distinct species of bird which has been isolated from all other birds species for 65 million years, and it is bizarre. It looks like an Archaeopteryx, and it even has wing fingers. Did you know that this thing existed? It's the national bird of Guyana, I think it is. You're going to have to look it up. And I'm definitely going to put it into a D&D adventure at some point. Excuse me. Yeah, you're going to have Manticorgi riders of Deep Slag Town. Deep Slag. That is a great name for the town. The Iron Mine. Deep Slag Mine. Deep Slag. Great. This is going to be fun. Yeah, it even has the mohawk. Yeah. Tell me that's not an Archaeopteryx. And on that note, everybody, I think this is a good time to wrap it up for today's live stream. I think it was very productive. Thank you for everybody that joined. Thank you, Comic Note, for all your fantastic and generous donations. And I hope you recover well. Don't forget to drink lots of water. Bizarre Beasts, which is the PBS YouTube channel. Oh, great. Doesn't slag mean something else in the UK? Yes, but I'm not in the UK. but we also say that too. That's even funnier. I mean, double entendres in Dungeons and Dragons? Oh my. If I hear singing children anywhere near my house, I will call the cops. Have a great day, everybody. I will catch you later and look forward to... Oh, thanks, Moonzus. Thanks, Comic Nut. I know what I'm about, son. I love it. And on that note, have a great day, everybody, and I'll catch you later.